Start. Hi everyone, thanks for joining this meeting. It's been, I think, a month since we met last time. A lot of things were done thanks to your work and contribution. Let's start from Evgeny. He will present his work and some bug fixes and schema improvements he introduced and he made.
Hi everyone, let's start. In a few moments I will share my screen. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, let's start. First issue related to wish list. First of all, I open original issue. In this issue, we created new type with name wish list based on previous type wish list output, and we remove name from this type because in open source edition, we have only one wish list per customer instead of commercial edition, where we would create multiple wish lists. And this my changes. We create new type, deprecated old fields, and wrote new resolver for save backward compatibility and show how it works. I have customer. Customer has one item in wish list, and with this simple query, we could get these items, products, and additional information about wish list. Also, this query was covered with API functional tests. Maybe anyone have a question? Okay. Let's go to another issue. Another issue, we have a bug related to GraphQL. It was reproduced with the next steps. In admin, we need to create some test static block and add a template to it. For example, I have created one test static block, added another block into it, and without fixes, we have empty data, as you see. We have not any content of this static block. With fix, show sorry, one moment. This bug was related to how Magento build paths to needed file. When we built a query and Magento got some content in content, it tried to build paths to file related to area code. When we build GraphQL queries, we have GraphQL area code. And in this case, we could not get file. We have empty data. Oh, sorry, I have
Maybe
some problem.
you
Maybe
just need to switch
with
the branch. Because yeah, I know that
yes,
you showed me that worked.
Yes, maybe we have some mistake with range, my branch. So the wrong branch. And it will works. Yes, as you see, we get right content with some data, with correct data. We have some text, and we have a blog with template, with test template, where we build with some simple data, for example. This pull request also was covered with functional tests. Any question? Okay.
Not from me. Great. Thanks.
Cool. That's all from my side.
Improvements. Okay. Thanks. So the next one will be Alex. He wants to say something about in-store pickup, GraphQL schema, and some improvements he did in order to extend shipping addresses. Am I correct? I didn't miss anything.
Yes. So hi everyone. I think it's first time I visit this kind of call. Usually I visit calls related to the multi-source inventory, And usually I'm working with store pickup. I will start share my screen. Probably you should see something. This story of how I get to this call started with this call pull request, which have name something like how we can add pickup location information to the quote through the GraphQL. And actually we did. We come to the schema, and first of all, as we have a new schema, we need to add it to the architecture repository. So it's our service contract, and it should be there. Unfortunately, I have found that the schema on the architecture repository is out of date, so I was forced to update it to the latest version. And fortunately, I was smart enough to make it into different commits. And the last one is how I have added the information which is related to the pickup location code. So it's directly related to the shipping address input data. And in our case, the user of this service contract could pass or customer address ID or address and pickup location code. In case of pickup location code will be passed, the real address will be replaced with the address of pickup location. Even if customer pass address ID, it will just load address, will took some information like name, first name, last name, and telephone number, and replace with pickup location code. And of course, if we can mutate or write something, we need to read it. And yeah, in the type of shipping cart address, there is also available pickup location code field. So if someone need to do query and know if pickup location code is used, he or she can do it. It's I think the half of the problem. Schema is pretty good, but unfortunately to implement the implementation of the schema, just give me 1 second, I will find it. Okay. During the implementation of the schema, we was forced to make customization with that bad word preferences. So we fully replaced the resolver for mutation of quote address. Yeah, I'm just, yeah, so this is it. I just show in the past the worm pull request. We replaced the resolver of for the mutation, and in result we come with the bad experience of doing it because something was changed in that resolver, in original resolver, and in our preference set resolver that changes was not available, and in result it resulted to requirement to synchronize it one more time. So this is our preference set resolver, which is set shipping address on cart, which implements the corresponding interface. And yeah, what it do? It get shipping address, assign pickup location if it can, and assign shipping address to the cart. So after the incident, we understand that preference is something which we really would like to avoid, because something can also change in future and we will be forced to fix it again and again. And we come that there is somewhere should be available extension point. And actually we come that this resolver is responsible for two operations. First of all, it provides the shipping address from the input, and second one, it used to assign this shipping address to the cart. The decision was just to divide these two operations to the different classes, and it is this pull request which was merged 2 days ago. So now we have like two classes. First one is get shipping address, and second one is set shipping address on cart. From this original one was removed logic which is responsible for receiving shipping address from the input. So now it looks like get shipping address, execute, blah blah blah. And second one is just responsible to provide the correct shipping address object. It will be reused in the in-store pickup, so we will remove our preference and just create plugin to the get shipping address class, and everything should be okay. So it is it with the code, and second one is currently in progress and something which need to be discussed. It's about GraphQL schema. So we proposed our view of GraphQL schema, how we could search the pickup locations. It's pretty big. It provides possibility to filter by different pickup location attributes, also search by distance filter, add sort orders, and etc. And yeah, it's pretty big. And Alex Palerush have proposal with the GraphQL schema, which instead of 20 and 1 filter, will use only a search term, which I think looks much simpler from the customer point of view. And yeah, it's something which need to be discussed in the future. So for now, it is it. Thank you for your attention. Probably you have some questions.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like the huge improvements. Alex, maybe you have something to add regarding this proposal from the architecture team, and I know that you discussed this with product owners as well.
Yeah, so basically we had a discussion with Mark Brinton, who is product owner for Store Pickup, and we looked at the original schema proposed by Alex, and we had to reduce it a little bit because currently the proposed schema provides a lot more functionality than is exposed at the moment, and we agreed that it makes sense to limit it for now, and we will extend it in the future if it needs to be extended. So that's the main reason why, let's say, filter by distance was removed and some other additional filters were removed for now. So it's more like product decision.
Okay, I have a question. It's related to the search term. So it's supposed to, I don't know, use full text index under the hood to work with search terms, or it's supposed to like in Google when you enter the address string and Google provide you the, I don't know, the address, the latitude and longitude on the map.
So the idea here was to replicate functionality which is currently available on Storefront, and in Storefront user can only enter one string, cannot enter any address or zip code or anything like that. We should use the same functionality as currently used in Storefront. And we don't really care about longitude and latitude. So the idea is that stores will be sorted according to, by default, distance from the user. However, it should be configurable in admin panel. And at the same time, it doesn't make sense to allow user to choose sorting order and sorting arguments. At least currently it is not possible, and product owner says that we don't want to allow user to do that as well. So it should be completely based on admin preferences.
I think it's something which we could discuss separately. least
Yeah, feel free to leave comments here, and you can also mention Mark Brinton. I mentioned him in my pull request summary, so you can mention him and ask for clarifications. But as I say, like mostly schema reduction was due to product requirements.
Yeah, I understand actually. I actually the main point which I would like to support is as we can filter by the by the address that described now. So just search closest pickup location to the entered address. And the second possible way is when we actually knew the name of the store, and we just enter the name of the store. So it's first case, this looks like some real custom thing when we operate with geolocations and Google Map API. And second one is looks like and simple search by the attribute. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's a good topic for other call. Probably we can do it with the mark. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's discuss
for
it
now,
offline.
I just suggest to leave any suggestions that you have in the pull request, and I will make sure that Mark will also look at them.
Cool.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item in our agenda is about address validation and consistency, and Roman will say more about this.
Hi everyone, thank you. Let me share my screen. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I want to show you two issues I've done. The first one is related to shipping address. The bug was that we could add a shipping address to the quote without all needed validation. So you could put some address and then you could try to get your cart ID, and after it you will have error something like this. So we need to throw this exception, to show this exception in this step. So I prepared. So here we have set shipping address on cart. I prepared already my cart ID and all needed information. So now we have address without region ID and without postcode. So now when you are trying to set shipping address on your cart, you have error something like this. Actually, these two errors should be separate, but now GraphQL doesn't provide for us this ability, so I created separate task to do this, not like one error, but it should be two separate errors. So this was one my task, and the second one that we needed to deprecate country ID field in customer address and use country code instead. I prepared these two. So actually we had this, for example. So now we can do it with country IDs and with country code. Actually, country ID now is deprecated, and here we can see this. So now I can use country code instead, and we need to do it. So now I change the country and use country code, and as you can see, we got new country like it should be. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thanks. Great. If no one has any questions to this, I want to also add. Sorry, Tomasz, I probably will go next because it's related to the error handling that Roman just showed. Let me share my screen. Okay, So right now we have an issue that for input validation, even when the aggregate exception is thrown with, and we can set multiple exceptions because of this, because GraphQL input exception is extended, implements aggregated exception interface or something like this, and the only last error will be shown in the response. So this is the issue, and because of this issue, we already have few implementations that just implode errors to show in the response. I think it's pretty critical, and like we need to fix this in order to use the functionality. I wanted to show the example. Right now it's the array with only one element, but like the expected behavior would be as many array elements as error appear during the validation. The same approach we would like to use with the cart errors. I know that Evgeny was working on this issue, so we expect to have the same behavior there. I will work closely with you regarding this, because the ideal situation is to fix this issue first and then like merge those pull requests with possible multiple errors. I hope like we are on the same page with everybody, and everybody knows or faced already with this kind of issues. Okay, if not, I will move forward with another topic. It's single mutation for adding product to cart. This proposal was already merged and was discussed during architecture meeting, but I just want to double check that you are aware of this and you understand what's going on. Right now, there is already support for single product, like add single product to cart, add downloadable, add configurable, etc. But when we started to work on wishlist, it turned out that it will lead to another, like add simple to wishlist, it's add configurable, then move simple from wishlist to cart, and so on. It will like it could produce too many redundant mutations. So this is how the proposal with single mutation was born. The idea here is that it will be only one entry point, not one entry point, one mutation, that the name will be add product to cart, and the schema will look like this. I'll show you add products to cart. Yeah, so if we want to add, we know that we need to have school, quantity, parent school, selected options, entered options. What is these values? The most interesting ones are entered and selected options. So selected options is the array of customizable, configurable, downloadable options that is base 64 encoded. Why it's needed? Because we want to move to the UUID in future. So in this case, the array of selected, this is one element, and it's base 64 and configurable 2442. What's this? So 24 is option ID, 42 is option value ID. This is how we want to pass the selected option. Well, we need to understand there will be two types. Selected option, something that a customer can select, like a checkbox, drop down, anything like that. Entered options, it's something that user will actually, they need to type it or upload, like file or some text. For entered options, there will be, again, ID for like custom options and value, also by 64, but this is just the some text that will be printed on this product. For example, in this example, in order to make it happen, we need to return these values when we render products. So all possible like combinations, all possible customizables or configurable options. So in order to achieve this, the ID should be added to the customizable option interface. And once it will be available so front end does not care about encoding and decoding. This value will be returned from the products query for the rendering of catalog. So the same idea for all of the types products. For example, for downloadable, it can be the type of option downloadable. For, like, again, customizable will be customizable, and so on. I know it's like hard to get so quick this idea. So if you are interested, please go visit architecture repo and read this proposal, because this is the main goal we will be working in the nearest future. So maybe some questions, concerns, but I believe no concerns because it's already merged. Okay, if no questions, so Tomasz will go next and say about test coverage.
Hi all. Do you hear me? Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I will talk today about increasing test coverage. As you see, I started to create some issues about to cover some exceptions or just to extend the test coverage. We already have instruction. I modified it today because this instruction was for those who have Nginx. Usually I work only with Apache, and I shared my experience here. We can start right now, and I will show how it works. So we have not installed Magento. We will do it. So while it will install, I can show what we are expecting, what I expect in the end. So the goal of our goal is to get this table and to have ability to check what is covered and what is not. So when I create these tickets, I show the lines which are not covered. As example, we can go to quote GraphQL and see what is not covered there. So here we see that some exceptions are not checked by tests. To get this working. To get this table, we need to go step by step on this tutorial. So the most important that you have to install Xdebug because it have a role of a driver for this API, for the coverage. The first step is to create folders. These folders will be used later. In this step, I just getting the environment variables from the Apache installation. So I need to know which is the Apache run user. So the meaning of this line is just for this part. And after this, I will have proper permissions for that folders, and I can start doing next. Here you see the modified index.php. It's the main index.php file in the root directory of Magento 2. There are some parts that were changed. The index.php differs between Magento and Nginx. They are different, so don't copy from here if you have Apache. The interesting moment that you can't just run tests on payment methods. There was work to implement payment mocks for payment gateways. You need to copy them from this path. It's in dev-test API functional files. So now we have for authorized net accept.js, Braintree, FedEx, and USPS. The PayPal is work in progress. After you copy those folders, you need to upgrade your Magento installation. And then if you have configured your Magento instance for running API functional tests, you can start running them. So this command should work for you. By this command, the test coverage for the downloadable product GraphQL will be generated in the folder var coverage reports. When it's done, you can navigate to this folder, get the library which converts coverage files into the HTML format, and run this command to have this. After this, you can just navigate to that folder and open in your browser. Let's see if Magento is installed. No, it's not. So it's already installed. As you see in my terminal window, I have not enabled Xdebug. Let's start it. Let's do it. I will check it. So now I have Xdebug installed and working. I can close this and go to the steps. So as I describe my steps, I'm going to visit this folder. I'm in it. Create some folders for reports. The permissions. I will copy the mocks. So we need to wait for upgrade. Maybe you have questions at this moment. Does anybody has? So it's completed. So assuming that I could have now configured API functional tests, I need to change PHP unit file, so you can find it in the official documentation. I will not do this now because it will take some time, but running this command should give you the final result in case if you have configured API functional test run. I think it will be all from me. I will check instruction today one more time, and I will publish some message in the general chat for GraphQL that for those people who want to get the coverage by themselves to have this ability.
Yeah, that was really informative. Thanks. And also wanted to add that based on Thomas' research and after the measurement of GraphQL test coverage, we have about, I think, in total, by all, if we count all GraphQL modules, it's about 85% right now. But again, thanks you are creating new tasks for this coverage, so I think we are doing well with this. Any questions about this, or any like other questions to each other maybe? Okay, so thanks for joining. Have a good day or have a good evening. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.